This week we're going to talk about adding tables to your web pages to organize things better. A table is very good at getting you placement of different items on your screen. Whether it's the text itself that you want in a different placement than just left aligned, or if you want to insert graphics in different areas, a table can help you set that up. To build the table, the first thing we do is open up with the command table, which you see I've already entered. And we also have to tell it that we're going to have the table body. And then we're going to establish the first row. Now, my table is going to be a multi-row but only two-column table. The rows themselves will open and close. The cells for a table, they actually refer to as just table data. So the command there is TD, so it doesn't look like cell, it's table data. And because I know a little bit about what I want this to look like, I'm going to put the width of my first column equal to 25%. I know I need it to be much smaller than my second column. I'm going to have a title, and then in my second column I'm going to have a description, which is going to need a lot more space. I also want to have this appear strong, which is in HTML another word for bold. And the first column, as I said, is going to be just a name. I'm going to put tool name. And then I'm going to close out those tags, the strong and the cell with table data. Then I'm going to go to my next cell, table data. I don't need to put in the width because it's the only other column I'm going to have, so it'll take the remaining space. And I also want this to be strong. And it's going to be my description. And also close out that cell. And then I'll come down and I will close out the row because I don't want anything else in that particular row. Let me go ahead and save this, and we'll take a quick look at how we're starting out. And now you can see I've got a tool name and a description. It doesn't look like much yet, but we're just getting started. So let's go and make some adjustments. The first adjustment I want to make is actually the table width on the screen. So I'm going to go back to my table command, and I'm going to put a width in there as well. And I'm going to have that equal to 80% of the screen. Now, you can actually do this in pixels. But the problem with pixels is, with all the varying screen sizes and resolutions, it may not appear well, especially, for an example, if you were looking at a web page on a cell phone. If you put a certain number of pixels, it could really distort the image as it tries to expand beyond the screen. This way it's going to be 80% of the size of whatever screen you're looking at. Let me save that and see what little changes that made. Okay. Now it looks like they're separated a little better. There must have been a little adjustment there. But I also noticed that my tool name is bold and my description is not. So I probably have a typo in there somewhere. Let's take a quick check on that. Oh, stong. I missed my R. So there we go. And I should always double check my opening and closing of my tags. Do another quick check here. Alright, there we go. So now I've got two column heading set up, and we got to go in and start adding some more of the detail. I've jumped ahead a little and added in some of the detail for the rest of my table. Notice here that I've started my second row, and I have in the first cell, I'm just going to list some of the tools, and I'm starting with Google Drive, which is actually a newer service. It really replaced Google Docs. And I'm going to actually edit that in here. Previously, Google Docs this is this is a free service, and you can see the text there. I've gone ahead and added table elements. Now you notice my first cell is going to be the title Google Drive, and then my second cell in the column is going to be the text describing it. And the same thing for YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Got a few things in here. So again, just using the same tags that I showed you previously. All I've done is table rows and table data all the way down. And let's save this and take a look. Here we go. Run, launch it in Firefox. Now, notice something else that I added and I did not mention. I have a border around my table. I did that really quick just so we could see a more defined area. Let me skip back, and you see I just did that up here. When we established the table width at 80%, I just threw in a border now, and border style 1 is what we are seeing. And let me just switch back to Firefox, and you can see how it really clears up the layout, and you can see exactly how wide that first column is, and the second column. Notice again it's about 80% total of my whole screen width, so there's space extra there. And then I can start looking at cleaning this up even more. First off, I don't like all this white space. The longest title I have is the last one here, Stumble Upon, and that doesn't even quite use half of the space that's there. So let's go back and adjust the percentage on that. Let's try just 15% instead of 25 and save that. Launch it again. There we go. I like that much better. Now, not a lot of extra blank space. So notice right now also there's a couple things you can see. First, you'll notice that everything is aligned left inside my table. But you'll also notice that the alignment of the titles is centered when we're talking a vertical alignment. So I'm not really sure if I like that one. Let's make a change there. Let me go back to Notepad++, and for my title and that title data, I'm going to change the vertical alignment. V-align is the tag for that. A horizontal alignment would just be simply align equals, and I want this at the top. Let's take a look at it that way and save, and just going to refresh. And there, my Google Drive is at the top. Not sure if that's the way I like it either. It's a choice. I have it at the top. Some people consider that neat, and then the rest of the text flows down. I think I actually liked it better in the center. And let me go back again. And I'm going to leave the vertical alignment out of here, but I'm going to put a horizontal alignment, which remember is just align to center. Let me try looking at that. Save and refresh. Alright, well now I've got it centered entirely, and I kind of like that. Let me see if I add that to the rest of my cells, how that makes the whole table look. So I'm going to take that align center, I'm going to take that whole command, copy it, and I'm going to put that in front of each of my headings here. So I've got a few of them to adjust here. Alright, let's save and take a look at that. Alright, okay, looks like I doubled up on some of my symbols. Fix that really quick. Cutting and pasting, you got to be careful. Make sure that everything copies the right way. There we go. I kind of like that. I really think that looks better. As a matter of fact, I think I want to center my top row. Let's see here. So I'm going back, and we have the width here. I'm going to do a line equals center, and then I'm going to do that again for my description. Save. And let's see how that looks. There we go. I kind of like that. I think I'm going to leave it that way. So I've got description centered. I've got the tool name. I've got the border added in. Quite a few things here. So you can see already it really gives me a lot more control over the look of my document. We're still going to take it another step further. We're going to start adding some graphics in here. So that's going to be in the next segment. So that's part one of tables, and the next video will expand